your home.
But I say that wearing flip-flops.
Yeah, really. Yeah. You got no credibility along those lines for sure. Well, they come out here and get warm next to the Heart, and it's fine, you know. By the way, it's pretty much packed downtown. No parking places. I looked everywhere, drove around a couple of times, and there's gifts downtown. You can go to the farm market, pick up jams, jellies, stuff, you know, all kind of stuff.
Do a little gift shopping, and come down and get a little brunch.
I plan to go by the wine shop today. The corkscrew up there.
You got to get you some green apple Riesling, don't you?
I'm gonna. Shh, don't be telling my secrets.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I thought you were buying that for me.
No.
Well, there you go. You're not buying anything for me.
You're getting nothing.
JJ
is high on my list now.
Well, the LaSalva family on the whole, by the way.
Correct.
Last night, I went to a fine eating establishment. I won't say what their name is. Outback.
Yeah.
Had a 9-ounce sirloin
on JJ
with sea scallops, salad, and bread. All of it brought to you by the LaSalva family.
You know,
thank you for that.
You must be giving JJ a great gift this year.
I'm giving JJ nothing.
What?
Yeah, we get off on Christmas and New Year's.
I'm giving it the day off on Christmas and the day off on New Year's.
What's that all about? Man, I don't know.
Hey, you know what I gave JJ? 5 o'clock off every Monday so he could go to class.
Oh, yeah, that's a real great gift.
There we go.
Real great gift. Well, anyway, it's nice out today. I like JJ, you like cool weather?
Absolutely despise it, buddy. I am not feeling comfortable right now at all. I have a hat on, a jacket, a sweater under that, and sweatpants.
Well, let me say, you guys need to go lose. You could live in New York for a year.
No.
Go to Colorado and live for a year, and then come to Florida. This is ideal weather in Colorado.
Buddy, I lived in the mountains of North Carolina, and I lived in Chicago. Trust me, I understand what the cold is, and that's why I live back in Florida.
Well, go back up there. Then. Might as well live up there now, right?
I ain't got no use. I love Chicago in July.
Okay.
I ain't got no use for Chicago.
So each his own. I love it.
January.
I think the crisp, cool air is wonderful. And most of Ocala agrees with me.
But by the way, we don't have it as bad as some of the people in the Midwest have it that are still digging out under 2 foot of snow. Like, did your son-in-law make it to Wisconsin? Say
he did. Got the word last night. He made it back to Wisconsin, back to Pennsylvania. He's there with the kids. They're all bundled up in West Reading now. All going to have a big, big Christmas.
So everybody's safe and sound. Everybody's safe and sound. Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
And everybody out there, by the way, we make sure that we want to pray for the folks traveling. It's perilous out there. So
it is perilous. It is perilous. Speaking of perilous, there's a quarterback in New York, buddy. Backup quarterback, supposed to run the shotgun or the pistol or the what's that?
It's actually
Wildcat.
It's actually his own read. What it is.
Whatever he's supposed to be running. He was brought in for that.
Called it Wildcat.
Well, you sent me a very interesting story, and I want to start the day off with that with all our Gator fans that are listening.
JJ, did you hear about this?
Here's the first line of the story. Tim Tebow is fixable.
There you go. What do you think? He could do it, JJ.
At quarterback?
Well, listen to this story.
Jim Corbett from the USA Today spoke with George Whitfield Jr., who has worked with Ben Roethlisberger, Cam Newton, and Andrew Luck. And George Whitfield Jr., who is a quarterback guru, says the mechanically flawed quarterback can be re-engineered and given a fresh start beyond this failed New York Jet experiment, say 2 leading quarterback gurus who are willing to accept the challenge.
And in 6 weeks they can do it.
Yeah, said it won't cost much monetarily to fix Tebow, and it can be done in 6 weeks of dedicated, isolated training time.
Now, why? Tell him why he says that.
It's doable, Whitfield said, and I absolutely believe it can be done, and I would absolutely go in with him on it. He's going to have to make the decision to morph to the position to re-engineer himself skill set-wise, quarterback foot-wise, hip-generated throws. Whitfield added, wherever Tim goes next year, he's going to have to buckle in and dedicate himself. It's going to be a very interesting offseason for him. Terry Shea agrees with Whitfield that not only is Tim Tebow salvageable, but it's a critical matter of matching Tebow's different skill set with the right head coach who can maximize his athleticism.
Well, you know, here's the thing, and there's a hint of betrayal in this story. As we heard from Mark Long yesterday, that basically the Jets did nothing to help Tebow's game whatsoever. That was basically, he was promised a bill of goods, but he carried the ball 60 times all year long or something like that.
Right.
And so he never really got any coaching or preparation. I'm really kind of surprised at this, JJ, aren't you?
That he wasn't able to get a bunch of reps.
No, he's surprised that
I mean, that's just some quarterback gurus talking. Listen, if I'm a GM for an NFL team, I don't care if he's fixable. I want an NFL quarterback who's ready now, who doesn't need 6 weeks to change his whole game. Unless Tebow changes his position, nobody's going to worry about him. I think his career as a quarterback is completely over.
Okay, here's the deal. They got to remember what you get
season. 6 weeks in the offseason. Here's who they say. If all of a sudden, say, Chip Kelly comes in the NFL next season, Tim Tebow would flourish in Chip Kelly's system.
Oh,
is what Shea said.
Give me a break. He's not fast enough for that.
Let me explain something to you.
This is the quarterback.
You want to act like you don't. That these guys don't know what they're talking about. These are guys who have mentored Robert Griffin III, Sam Bradford, Matthew Stafford, Josh Freeman, Andrew Luck. These guys.
These are all guys who didn't have a problem coming right into the league and starting. Tebow's been in the league and still can't start. I don't care if he's fixable. I don't think any GM is going to want to take this guy on their team that has to be fixed, and plus all this added pressure and added media attention, all because of Tebow. I don't know who's going to take him.
Okay, here's what you're missing. Value.
What's the value in Tebow?
Hang on, JJ. It's not costing you a first or a second or a third or
no, because the Jets are going to cut him. You're going to be able to cut him for $800,000
free. If you're looking at a situation and you need, let's say, it's a matter of time before somebody tries to run the offense, which is known as the zone read. Somebody is going to do it. In fact, today on ESPN, Mel Kiper and others were speculating that there's a good possibility Chip Kelly from Oregon will be hired by Charlotte because he could coach Cam Newton and run that offense. So if you're thinking along those lines, Sperano failed at it because you can't run this offense every 15th play. You got to be dedicated to it and run it half the time. And so if you're going to do this, there are a limited number of quarterbacks who can run this offense. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think Tebow's fast enough to run it, though.
You don't have to be real fast to run the zone read. You need to. Now he's not. He's definitely lost some of his speed.
But what he's lost in speed, he makes up in his sheer power
and his bulk, whatever. But I mean, look, I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm just saying it's a new way of thinking about it. I kind of thought like you did, JJ. Maybe his career's over. But reading this and reading the kind of guys he's worked with, which is a very well-known guy. For him to come out and say flatly this is fixable, at least a general manager has to at least give it a consideration, Tom. At least
they would have to, because we're not talking about Tom Schmidt says Tim Tebow's fixable. J.J. LaSalva says Tim Tebow's garbage. He can't play anymore. We're talking about two guys who are paid big money by NFL franchises to mentor quarterbacks. So if NFL franchises already paid them big money, they're going to listen to them when they talk. Kind of like an old commercial, buddy. When E.F. Hutton speaks, people listen. And that's why it caught me off guard when I saw who it was.
Yeah.
That it said he was fixable. Because I'm going to tell you my personal belief, he's not fixable. He needs to play H-back, fullback, something like that. I agree with you.
You may be right. You may be right.
He's not fixable. But these two guys, to say he's fixable, and for their stature with the NFL,
that's a new story.
I was caught completely off guard by that. But if I was going to have to put a vote on it right now, I'm with J.J. LaSalva. He either changes position,
all stick together.
He either changes position or his NFL career is over.
You guys always want to bash me.
But hey, a year and a half from now, we all may be eating crow. You never know.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks, there's another good story about a quarterback.
We're going to talk about that when we come back.
Later on, because hey, go watch yourself. When you're in the spotlight, be careful.
I just want to know how can I get seats to the NBA game? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Johnny Football. A little controversy brewing in Texas. We'll find out next on Buddy Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. Hey, we're down here at Pie on Broadway for Brunch on Broadway. Come to the farm market, then come on down to Pie on Broadway, get some brunch right here in beautiful downtown Ocala. All of this brought to you by The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little bit of something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family will ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And State Farm agent Angie Lewis is always there too, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. At the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency, they go far beyond any slogan. Angie wants to help you adjust your insurance needs as your life evolves, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. They want to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. Each week on The Voice of Ocala, they feature a Good Neighbor of the Week, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. They're also big sports fans and sponsor our weekly State Farm State of the State report, which highlights a different college sports program each week. The Angie Lewis Agency of Ocala is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your Good Neighbor State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 291-2444.
We're back on Buddy Saturday Sports Day live from Pie on Broadway in a brisk but beautiful downtown Ocala this morning. A little chilly outside, but we're inside with the hearth here going at Pie. Nice and warm inside. Smell of food starting to come out of the kitchen and everything.
Where's Adam today, brother?
I have not seen Adam today. He's sick. Adam is sick today.
Well, Tucker gets got some action, I guess.
We'll get somebody to tell us what's going on in the kitchen.
Tucker's ready.
Buddy, how long have you been in this sports game?
Oh, well over a half century.
Well over a half century. Been to a couple NBA games in your career?
A few hundred, yeah.
Few hundred. Ever sat courtside?
Yes, I have.
Sat courtside?
Media.
Media's courtside.
Okay.
But not
used to be.
Not the spectators courtside.
No. I mean, I have a few times with people who were friends of mine that gave me tickets.
Right.
But no, I've ever bought tickets. No,
Never bought tickets courtside.
Not courtside.
JJ, you been to a couple NBA games in your life?
I've actually been to 0 NBA games in my life.
0 NBA games. You know, even I've been to an NBA game, buddy.
Wow, that's amazing.
I've been to like 5 Hawks games. Been to like 5 Hawks games in Atlanta when I lived up there.
Somebody gave you tickets?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't buy the tickets. Are you kidding me? Never sat courtside, though. In the old,
why? It's pricey.
Well, yeah, in the old Omni, I'd sit up, 30, 40 rows up and everything.
Wonder how much it would cost to sit courtside at, say, a Mavericks game.
You'd think with Mark Cuban, with the electricity in that crowd and everything, with the heavy hitters, probably cost pretty penny to sit courtside.
I would think most people, especially college kids, couldn't afford that.
JJ, you're a college kid. Could you afford courtside seats at an NBA game?
No, and I'm almost 23, but the guy we're talking about's like 4 years younger than me, too.
Uh-oh, that hurts.
Well, it seems that Johnny Football, Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Manziel, courtside seats to the Mavericks game.
Uh-oh.
Twitter exploded with wondering how he was able to sit courtside. Steve Kerr, TNT announcer, said, wow, how'd that kid get those primo seats? Called him out live on television. Manziel, of course, not helping his calls out. How much did it cost to sit on the Florida game?
Well, according to this, just some I pulled up, I don't know if it's accurate, it says, this website,
$477 a piece.
ShotSide.com says April 15th, it will cost you, this was last year, will cost you $477 a piece.
And that's second row floor seat.
Yeah, second row.
And he was sitting first row.
So at least $477.
At least $500.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel, Mr. Johnny Football, sitting courtside at the Mavs game, and then when speculation went all over Twitter, how's he answer it? Bought myself a birthday present. Stop hating.
Oh, what a liar.
But here's the thing. Even if it's true, okay, how'd you get the money to buy yourself a birthday present?
Well, there you go. He said, I bought myself a little birthday present tonight. Stop hating. Only problem with that is his birthday was the second day of December.
Uh-huh.
So why'd he wait till now to buy himself a birthday present?
Let me just say this. It may sound like nothing. Trust me on this. The NCAA will be looking into that.
Yes.
Steve Kerr said on TV, just because he's playing in the SEC now, I'm not trying to insinuate it.
That's a real low blow.
That is awesome. That's hilarious.
Well, low. It's like some Miami fan would say.
Let's be honest.
Where did Steve Kerr go to school?
I couldn't tell you.
Good question.
But let's be honest.
I'm going to guess
Washington or something like that.
Washington. That's why.
Arizona.
Let's be honest.
I'll do is the West. I'm playing.
Let's be honest, though. Texas A&M, given its past history in the Southwestern Conference back in the day, isn't above giving a football player a little cash.
Jackie Sherrill, the best team in Lincoln Valley, right?
Hey, Eric Dickerson went to SMU after Texas A&M and bought him a Trans Am.
You probably got an open credit card. So here, whatever you need, Eric.
I just find it quite humorous.
Yeah, Donnie's a little too young to understand that culture and the stigma that it carries.
You think that Kevin Sumlin's going to have him in the office going, Johnny, you're the Heisman Trophy winner. The paparazzi are following you everywhere. Let's try not to get courtside seats again.
Want to go to a game? Go to high school.
So, is it illegal NCAA-wise to accept that as a gift?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it is.
Not for your family now. As long as your family didn't got the money off there. And here's the other thing. The rule is if there was somebody he knew his family had a long-term relationship with, let's say a neighbor they've known for 20 years, that is permissible on certain occasions. But you cannot accept anything free, any money, any gifts, any tickets, period, from somebody that is not a member of your family or a long-time relationship, somebody your family knows.
I don't like that rule.
Well, it's the rule.
Manziel didn't help the cause by saying he bought the tickets himself. It may be true. Perhaps he came into family money at 18 or gets a sizable alliance. But it doesn't pass many people's smell test. Had he said, my family bought them, they own and operate an oil company, or they were a birthday gift from my aunt, or not issued a comment at all, nobody made a sink. Saying I bought the tickets will make it sound fishier than it needs to.
That's from USA Today.
Also, Dr. Saturday of Yahoo Sports noted Manziel also sat courtside for a Rockets game on Wednesday and went to the locker room and hung out with Hart.
Oh, my God.
He must have had a grant for tickets, huh?
Hey, this was his birthday or his Christmas gift to himself, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
So,
speaking of gifts, I mean, you know, how about a team in Florida you wouldn't even know about, the 110 games? I would never,
Right.
other than Florida State, Florida. What team in Florida 110? It wasn't the Hurricanes.
Jacksonville.
It wasn't the US. It wasn't
Jacksonville University.
It wasn't the Bulls or USF.
Jacksonville University.
Jacksonville
University won 10 games.
They won 10. Well, I didn't say
but that's Division I AA.
Yeah, I mean
that doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
That's a good.
FIU didn't win 10, did they?
Did not.
The Florida Atlantic didn't win 10.
No.
Who did?
Miami.
No, not Miami.
Miami did not win 10 games.
There's a team right here close by that won 10 games, but JJ pointed out.
And George O'Leary's UCF Knights.
There you go. Bingo.
10 wins this year for the Knights after a big bowl victory last night in the Beef O'Brady's Bowl, played in St. Petersburg at the Trop in front of about 13 people.
You forgot against David Letterman's alma mater,
Ball State. But I think, what was the announced attendance, JJ? 12 people?
Well, they said it was 21,000. There's no way that there was more than 15 there.
Here's the deal. On that math system, if they got 21,000 last night, we got 25,000 listeners to this radio show.
That's like earlier in the season when Miami had about 13 people in the crowd, but somehow they sold 40,000 tickets, so let's put that on there.
Well, let's give UCF their due, though. Blake Bortles, the quarterback for UCF, threw 3 touchdowns, ran for another, as Central Florida beat Ball State 38-17, and were never challenged in this game. They had Ball State beat right out of the gate. Bortles completed 22 of 33 passes with an interception, and his 3 TD passes was a career best, and tied the Beef O'Brady's Bowl record. Didn't realize the Beef O'Brady's Bowl had been around long enough to have a record. But so there you go. Speaking of bowl games, Bowl-O-Rama is still going on, according to the, I'm looking here at the
got games today, man.
Ocala Star Banner, the New Orleans Bowl.
Yeah.
This is the bowl that cost Louisiana Tech their bowl game.
Yeah.
Because they were supposed to play Lafayette. They turned them. They said, no, we're going to wait and see what our options are.
Better.
You know what your options are? You're at the house. That's why East Carolina's playing Louisiana Lafayette. Right. That's what you think is. Yeah. So East Carolina against Louisiana Lafayette today at noon on ESPN. And then today at 3:30, a bowl game that if I was going to go to a bowl game that wasn't a major bowl game, this would be the one I'd go to. Not because of the bowl game, but because of where it's located. The Las Vegas Bowl.
Yes.
Probably wouldn't go to the football game, but I'd go to Las Vegas.
You watch it on TV.
Yeah. Well, you can in the sports book. You can watch it right there in the
I'm going to tell you the truth. Right now, as Augie Glenna Jr. talked about yesterday, we were discussing this, a lot of us would rather sit in front of the TV and watch the game and hear it and watch the replay and hear the commentators. And, if you want to flip it off and come back and catch it on the replay, I mean, it's just a better situation for most games. Don't you think, JJ? I mean, would you rather be...
I like going to Miami games because, I'm with my buddies, I'm tailgating, we're having fun. But if it's not about, going out with your friends and stuff, yeah, I would definitely rather watch it on my 50-inch LED TV on the couch with cheap beer and whatever food I want.
There used to be a saying, and I think it was our friend Gordon Smith who actually said this one time. He said, it's not about the game, it's about going to the game.
Right.
That's when people used to enjoy tailgating.
That's how I feel.
But I think people now are getting to the point of saying, I got kids at home. My wife wants me to run a couple of errands. I can do that at halftime.
Yeah, I don't have those problems.
Well,
our good friends Craig and Julie Stewart have a 50-inch TV out in the Cabana Bar out in back of their house.
We'll be going to their house next year.
And they got their grill right there and the cooler and everything with a kegerator and everything. We just throw some brats on the grill.
That works.
Maybe put a roast on the grill. We crank up to 50-inch. We're tailgating right there in the yard. We got the swimming pool right there so we can cool off in a hot September Florida game.
Sounds like Tom's using his friends a little bit.
I would say so. Tom's good at that, though.
Hey,
where are Craig and Julie today? They must be Christmas shopping.
They are.
Yeah.
By the way, everybody is well aware that that's what I'm doing, JJ. Just so you know.
I do like this Las Vegas Bowl. This is the first bowl that I would consider watching.
I'm actually going to watch this. It's Washington Pac-12 schools, 7-5, against the schools that have done something this year for the first time since 2007. What's Boise State done unusual, buddy, for the first time since 2007?
I didn't know this. This is an amazing stat. This is my stat of the week right here. I had no idea. How impressed are you with Boise State's program? Well, we know they obviously know how to win there. have been very.
They're really a legitimate college football program.
Right. So let's say,
I mean, what, they win 10 games every year, big deal.
We just said what teams won 10 games. We named off 2 or 3, right?
Right, big deal. They win 10 games every year.
Boise State, for the first time since 2007, will not win 12 games. Wow. They won 11. They won 10. Again, Las Vegas will against Washington.
How many teams can you say since 2007 have won 12 games
I
season?
dare say that I
Ever.
don't think anybody.
I think Boise is probably the only one with that.
I'm pretty sure I can't think of a team. You had to think Alabama, but Alabama hasn't won.
They haven't won 12 games, no.
That's basically saying that they've lost 1 game or less every single year.
Every single year.
They don't play Mountain West title games. So, there's no extra game on the schedule. They basically have 12-game schedule and then the bowl game.
Bowl game, yeah. And remember, if you think Boise didn't beat good teams because they're playing in the Mountain West, remember, they beat West Virginia during that run. They beat Oklahoma during that run. They beat some quality football programs during that run.
I think they're the best, most unsung conference in the country. And get this. Boise was supposed to go to the Big East. They're thinking about staying in the Mountain West now. They have.
There's nobody left in the Big East.
Well,
buddy.
right.
You stay in the Mountain West, I mean, the Big East is gone.
Sure. That's our point, though. The fact is, what you had said 2 years ago, which is the better conference, Big East or Mountain West?
No
Think
way,
about it.
man.
Yeah, think about
The
it.
Mountain West. I said that the whole time.
Yeah,
I was saying
right.
forever.
No, you
and, that's what caught me today. I was listening to ESPN Radio coming in. Florida, playing in the Sugar Bowl, number 3 in the country, plays the Big East champions. Is this the last year we'll have a Big East champion?
Yeah, probably will be.
Louisville ranked 21st in the country, Big East champion.
Yeah.
Ho hum.
All right, here's a question for you. We said yesterday, which is harder to win the national championship in college or pro football, NFL, which is the harder.
Right.
We'll hear Martin Long talking about that as well in our interview. But here's the thing: is that how hard is it to win 12 games? What NFL team has won 12 games for the last 5 years?
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. And Boise State, for this to be the first time since 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11. So it's the first time in 6 years they won't win 12 games in a season.
Yeah.
And they're going to win 11 because I think they're beating Washington.
I think so too.
I don't know. I like Washington in this one.
Well,
I really like Washington, yeah.
You can have them in the country. We'll have our own personal contest.
Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, we're going to have an interview we had with Mark Long of the Associated Press.
And we'll tell you who the Sporting News Athlete of the Year is, which, by the way, kind of surprises me. We'll see what you think about that. Who would you pick, JJ? Think about it. Tom, Athlete of the Year.
Athlete of the Year for 2012?
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back with our thoughts on that. After this time out, you're listening to Monday Saturday Sports Page live from Pie on Broadway, for Brunch on Broadway. Come on down and join us. It's beautiful downtown this morning. Come join us at Pie on Broadway for Brunch on Broadway on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Tired of the same old eggs, bacon, and toast breakfast? Is your lunch options drab and boring? There is an alternative for you that combines a great breakfast and a great lunch. Pie on Broadway's Brunch on Broadway provides an enjoyable alternative to the same old meal options. Come enjoy a frittata or a flatbread pizza. You can try huevos rancheros or chicken and waffles. There are many unique menu options at Pie on Broadway. You can also enjoy a complete bar selection as well as fine craft beer options. So remember, try the alternative to that boring breakfast and lunch with Brunch on Broadway at Pie on Broadway every Saturday starting at 10 a.m. But if you can't make it on Saturdays, Pie is open all week with a fine menu selection as well. So remember, if you're looking for an alternative to that boring breakfast or lunch, Brunch on Broadway Saturday at Pie on Broadway beginning at 10 a.m. We'll see you there at Pie on Broadway.
Hi, I'm Dr. Terry Compton, inviting you to join us on the Voice of Ocala to discuss a painful subject, pain, not a one-size-fits-all pain, because pain is very personal and comes in all forms. That's why we need to talk about where you're hurting, and we can find out why. Then I can recommend ways to help deal with it, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, the psychological pain of loss, or the pain of physical injury. And when we define your pain, we can begin looking for ways to treat it. Did you know that a lack of vitamin C can cause severely excruciating pain? So listen to my new show, Dr. Terry, on the first Friday of each month, live from Gateway Bank at 3:30. We're all in this together. There's a better way of living. Let me help you find it on the Dr. Terry Show.
Tune in and join Dr. Terry the first Friday of each month right here on The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Hi, I'm Pat Murray, General Manager of the Country Club of Ocala, inviting you to pay me a visit at the finest country club in North Central Florida. Come see why our members and friends embrace the Country Club of Ocala as a beautiful, serene place for those with active lifestyles. We have it all, from our Blue Ribbon Golf Course to our superb facilities. When you want to enjoy golf, tennis, swimming, fitness, or dine on cuisine that is second to none in North Central Florida, the Country Club of Ocala is where you'll want to be. So call me, Pat Murray, at 237-6644.
I've got to push on through, but while I'm gone, everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright.
We're back on Buddy Saturday Sports Page, live from Pie on Broadway for Brunch on Broadway. No Adam Volpe today, but they still got the specials for brunch and everything. They got the huevos rancheros and the frittata. You like that frittata?
I do. I've had that quite a bit.
You really like that frittata?
Oh, yeah, you can get a little brunch. You can get sandwiches and stuff like that.
Got a full menu. Got pizza up here.
Mm-hmm.
Got a full adult beverage bar with craft beer and everything. So you really need to come check out Pie on Broadway for Brunch on Broadway. When we left, you had asked who we thought was Sportsman of the Year. I'm going to take a stab at it. It's an Olympic year. Guys set all kind of records for gold medals and everything. Michael Phelps was Sporting News Athlete of the Year.
I don't think so. And not only that, I'm thinking, who should we rule out? We'll rule out Tim Tebow, Tiger Woods. Who else can we rule out?
Tom Brady.
Peyton Manning.
Adrian Peterson, rule him out.
Yeah.
So, JJ, I think Michael Phelps, buddy, shot me down. Who are you going with?
King James. Man won an NBA title, his first NBA title. I know it's sort of a stacked team and everyone hates him, but he also won a gold medal for the U.S. All in one summer.
Michael Phelps won a bunch of gold medals. It can't be LeBron, buddy.
Well, there are other people who won gold medals who got recognition in other polls.
Yeah, how'd Gabby Douglas do?
She won. She won.
Oh, she was Sportsman of the Year.
She was Sportsman of the Year for ESPN.
See what? You remember how we got into it this summer almost every day about how I dislike the Olympics and y'all think, it's great. It just shows why I dislike the Olympics when Tom, during the break, asks, who's Gabby Douglas? Exactly. See,
yeah, I did not have any remembrance.
No one remembers these people after a few months. That's why the Olympics, to me, it's not a big deal.
Here's the thing. Tom's memory sometimes doesn't function.
I know
played college football.
Took a lot of blows in the head.
Yeah.
So, if you talk about food, he'll remember it 10 years from now. Talk about gymnasts, he forgot it when he heard it.
Let me tell you, I ate at a place called Dante's down the hatch in
that's what I
Buckhead about 10 years ago.
There you go. See.
Pretty good meal.
Yeah, what did you have? What was it?
It was a shrimp Creole.
See,
it was pretty good.
Yeah. What time of day was it?
It was actually an afternoon lunch.
What was the temperature?
Probably, it was in August, so it was probably 85.
Okay, so you remember every detail, every meal you ever had, Joe.
Now, who's Gabby Douglas?
Yeah. You know about it.
So, well, LeBron James wins the Sporting News Athlete of the Year. He also won the Sports Illustrated Athlete of the Year. But my guy now, Michael Phelps, won something, didn't he?
Yeah, he won something. He won. Who did he win, JJ?
Associated Press.
AP.
Well, see, that's the big one. That's the one that counts. Associated Press.
Well, if you look at the list. I got the list of names here.
No, you know why Associated Press matters?
Mark Long.
That's who Mark Long works for.
Yeah, there you go.
Mark Long, we're going to replay an interview now that we had with Mark Long yesterday. Mark Long talked a little Gator basketball.
Yeah, and when you come back, I'm going to tell you who got the AP Athlete of the Year 4 times in a row, who got it 3 times in a row. It's been done. We'll tell you when.
I guarantee you I can guess who that was.
Well, maybe.
I bet Tigger was one of them.
Never know.
Never know. Well, we're going to listen to the interview we had with Mark Long yesterday, talking Gator basketball, right now on The Source.
First of all, Merry Christmas, and how are you doing, Mark?
Doing well, thanks, buddy. Getting all my shopping wrapped up here today and tomorrow. But, yeah, well, barring a setback, I'll be all good for come Tuesday.
Very good. Very good. Now, before we get into a couple of topics, one of them being Tim Tebow, we have this question in which Tom Schmitz is asking people today. Let's get your expertise on this. You cover both the NFL and you cover college football. Tom, go ahead with the question.
Mark, Tom Schmitz here. The question is, which is it harder to repeat? Is it harder to repeat as an NCAA national football champion, or is it harder to repeat as a Super Bowl champion?
Well, I don't think there's any question Super Bowl champ. I mean, it's difficult. Both are very difficult, no doubt. But, 16 games in the NFL, injuries are such a big part because that game's played at such a different high-impact level. Injuries are such a factor. And college, if you've got a loaded team, you bring back your quarterback and you can bring back a good number of starters, I think you've got a very good chance to repeat. Now, again, no one's done it since USC, I think, in 04-05. But, certainly Alabama has a chance this year. Florida had a good chance in 09. So it happens from time to time.
What do you make of the whole Tim Tebow fiasco? I noticed today that Tony Sperano now has come to the defense of Tebow, talking about the fact that he thinks it's a combination of things that caused their failure. He says he would not use the words "didn't work" at all. Hey, I mean, it didn't work. That's like saying the Titanic stopped for ice. It was a disaster. And I know that Tim Tebow must be totally. I mean, I can't imagine a guy who was up on such a high pedestal 3 years ago now being so low. And the question becomes now: is his NFL career over?
Well, I don't think his NFL career is over. There's a lot of quarterbacks in this league who get 2 and 3 chances to go other places, certainly first-round draft picks. I think somebody will give him a chance. Who that is, I don't know, but I know if the price tag is considerably cheaper, which it will be this time around, because, the bottom line is the Jets are going to probably cut him, and some team's going to be able to pick him up for nothing. They're not going to have to give him a draft pick. They're not going to have to pay half of his salary to the Broncos. You're going to be able to pick this guy up for nothing. And I think he's too good of a character guy, too good of a locker room guy, too much. He brings way too much to the table for some team, one of those other 30 teams out there. We can throw out Denver and we can throw out the Jets. One of those other 30 teams out there will take a chance on Tim Tebow, probably even as a backup quarterback. I don't think his quarterback career is over. I certainly don't think his NFL career is over. I think it probably would behoove him, depending on where he lands, to potentially, to say, hey, listen, let me try tight end. Let's give it a shot. I still think he can play quarterback in the league. I don't, is it going to be Tom Brady or Peyton Manning? I don't think so, but he certainly can be better than Mark Sanchez or Blaine Gabbert.
There have been other slash players, obviously, in the league. Certainly Pittsburgh had one, Cordell Stewart. But Tebow's different because his speed level is not what Cordell Stewart's was. If we talk about where Tim's going to go, everybody's thinking Jacksonville. I don't know about that. Whether that's going to happen or not. But I've got a hunch on another team. Let's see if we can all pick out a team besides Jacksonville that might take Tim Tebow. I'm going to go first. I think New England and Belichick could take a chance on him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one, I think, honestly, other than Jacksonville, I'd say that's the one most people pick because Belichick's got such a strong relationship with Urban Meyer, and he's got an affinity for Florida players. Having Brandon Spikes and Aaron Hernandez there certainly doesn't hurt Tim's chances.
His former coach at Denver is there?
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, if anybody's going to find a role for this guy, a way to use this guy, it's going to be Bill Belichick. And let's be honest, they don't have a power running back. Stephen Ridley's had a nice little season, but he's not by any means is he power, short yardage, back like that. So maybe Tim plays that wildcat role to perfection behind Tom Brady. And who knows, maybe he gets a chance, to show what he can get. Show what he can do on the field as a quarterback. Because, again, Tom Brady doesn't have this, he's not going to be around for another, 10 years. We know that.
Yeah, the question is, the jury's still out on whether the Wildcat will work in the National Football League. But to say that, I think it's a failed experiment. You look at his numbers, and he had 10 rushing first downs on 32 carries this year. They really didn't commit to it,
Right. And that's the problem. The problem is he was sold a bill of goods by the Jets, or they got this whim that they thought they were going to use him a certain way, and they just never followed through. Whatever the reasoning, the bottom line is that the coaching staff never followed through, and Tim should rightfully want out of there. Maybe the Jets want to part, are done with the experiment. Maybe that's the case too. But Tim should want out, and for obvious reasons, and nobody should question, why he would want out. Because the bottom line is the guy was lied to. And unless they change general managers and head coaches in with the Jets, there's no reason for Tim Tebow to stay in New York.
Well, they got to pay him $3 million to keep you, and that's just not going to happen. Right. According to his contract. And so any other teams there, anybody got a team? Tom, do you have one? If it wasn't New England and it wasn't Jacksonville, Mark, you and Tom, where do you think he most likely would be perhaps fit in?
Well, I'll give you another one. I don't want to step on Tom's feet here, Tom's shoes, but I'll give you another one. I think San Francisco. That's a head coach. It's a very good team, very good offensive line. They've got Frank Gore, who's an aging running back. And when you already have an offense in place that's going to take advantage of Colin Kaepernick with the zone read and all that stuff, that's going to be your offense going forward. You can't keep Alex Smith after what's transpired this year in San Francisco. I wouldn't be stunned if San Francisco took a run on Tim, a low-cost, shot here, and see what he can do as a backup quarterback. And that might be a good role for Tim. Go out there on the West Coast. It's a new audience for him and his mission and everything, and possibly, be Colin Kaepernick's backup.
Interesting. He stole my thunder. I thought the perfect fit would be the backup to Colin Kaepernick because it's the offense he's good at running, the zone read with a established running back and a great offensive line where while throwing the ball is still something that has to be done, it's not at a premium in that offense, so I think that'd be a perfect fit. Interesting.
And Seattle's going to be looking for a backup quarterback too next year because they're not going to be able to keep the former Green Bay guy they paid a ton of money to as a backup to Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Speaking of Russell Wilson, and the rookie quarterback's phenomenal this year. But I tell you what, there have been four of them just absolutely tearing it up in the NFL. The Jags are terrible. You see them up there. You deal with that situation sometimes. What in the world are they going to do? They got a mess on their hands.
Yeah, they've got a complete mess, and it's a real challenge here for new owner Shad Khan, his first year in the league, and he's at a crossroads, Do you blow this thing up and get rid of the general manager and bring in a new general manager? I think that's the obvious choice. You get rid of the general manager, but then you try to bring in a new general manager. You're going to stick him with, the coaching staff that's in place. Do you blow the whole thing up and you fire Mike Mularkey and his entire staff after one season? I mean, that's just pretty harsh, and it sets a tone, that you're not going to, that most owners may not want. You don't want to be known as the guy who doesn't give the head coach a chance. But, when you've made a mistake at the general manager position and that trickles down, it's hard to change just that one aspect of your front office and leave everything else the way. And again, I like Mike Mularkey as a guy, former Gator, player, but the reality is this offense and defense in Jacksonville has taken a step back in his first year. And that's not the scenario you want or the direction you want your team to be in.
Yep. Final thoughts on basketball. Gators get an easy win over a lightweight team. Come March, don't you think Billy Donovan's team will be able to get the ball and bounce?
I only got one for you, buddy, that I haven't written. He spent 2 hours this week working on inbound plays. 2 hours, 1 day in practice, working on inbound plays. Billy Donovan knows this is a talented team, but he also knows plays like that can get you beat. Late game situations, you got to be able to get off shots. You got to be able to get the ball in bounds. You got to be able to make free throws. Absolutely key. And he knows his team's going to be playing deep into the tournament. But, you know, against good teams, those are the things you have to do. And Arizona's a good team, but those are the things you have to do to close out good teams. And they didn't get it done, and Billy Donovan's trying to fix it.
Yes. You know, the final thought is about this is, talking with Augie Griner Jr. earlier, we were saying, you know, I never thought I'd see them yearning for Irving Walker, but that's a game they could have won with Irving Walker.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, his free throw ability was unmatched late in games. I mean, that was a guy who rarely missed free throws in the clutch. And again, he wasn't the greatest guy at getting off his own shot at the end of the first half, at the end of the game, but he got them off. They may have been 30-footers, but he got them off, and he made his fair share. So you're absolutely right. This team, I think the one thing we may say about them right now is they really missing that true point guard. And Scotty Wilbekin may be that guy. Maybe he develops in that guy. But, again, it's his first year in the starting lineup. He's playing with a broken finger on his right hand, his primary ball-handling hand. So, you know, they got some issues there.
Yep.
That was an interview with Mark Long of the Associated Press talking Gator basketball, and an interesting place for Tim Tebow to end up maybe as a backup in San Francisco, where the zone read is what they run there with Colin Kaepernick. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up this version of the Buddy Saturday Sports Page live from Pie on Broadway, Brunch Broadway. Come down and join us. We'll be here having breakfast. It's going to be a nice morning. Get out and about, do your shopping down at the farm market. Come to Pie on Broadway for Brunch on Broadway. You're listening to Buddy Saturday Sports Page on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And State Farm agent Angie Lewis is always there too, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. At the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency, they go far beyond any slogan. Angie wants to help you adjust your insurance needs as your life evolves, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. They want to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. Each week on the Voice of Ocala, they feature a Good Neighbor of the Week, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. They're also big sports fans and sponsor our weekly State Farm State of the State report, which highlights a different college sports program each week. The Angie Lewis Agency of Ocala is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your Good Neighbor State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 291-2444.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell Ride.
We're back for the final segment of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page, live from Pyle Broadway. Buddy, we left before we went to Mark Long's interview. You had a list of people that had made Sportsman of the Year. Said somebody made it 4 times, somebody made it 3 times in a row. I'm going to go with, let me just guess, Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan.
Well, Michael Jordan's close to Muhammad Ali. Not at all. Muhammad Ali got it 1 time. Michael Jordan 3 times. Tiger Woods got it 3 times only, but not in a row. Michael Jordan got it 3 in a row. We're talking about people in a row. Actually, Tiger got it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, but not in a row. One guy got it 4 in a row. Lance Armstrong, 4 in a row from 2001 to 2005. He got it. So that's one of those things that JJ says might be tainted a little bit.
Did he have to give it back?
I don't know. I don't know if they do that or not.
JJ, can you call Lance Armstrong, tell him that he's got to give a Sportsman of the Year back, please? We're efforting to reach Lance Armstrong right now, buddy. See if he can't get it back. So Sportsman of the Year 4 times. That's still an accomplishment.
Hey, Pete. Can they the only NASCAR guy that I can see on here in recent history to actually make it?
There was a NASCAR guy?
Jimmy Johnson.
Who? Jimmy Johnson, 2009.
Oh,
I feel like for them giving it to Lance 4 years in a row, that's sort of easy to do. You know, after he's won, what did he win, 6, 7 in a row? I feel like every year the AP was just like, whatever, let's give it to Lance again.
1980, they gave it to the entire U.S. hockey team. Yeah, the U.S. Olympic hockey team.
Yeah, how about that? The whole team got it in 1980.
So, real quick before I get into my "Are you kidding me" moment, we got about a minute and a half.
I want to put my earplugs in.
We got about a minute and a half to talk about the WWE event last night, KJ.
I'll put my earplugs.
That took place in New York in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I just saw the highlights. It's, Joakim Noah and Chandler, not exactly huge fans of each other. These aren't exactly huge.
Only the second loss for the Knicks at home this year. They've lost to the Bulls both times they played them, and this is a Bulls team that does not have Derrick Rose on it. And if the Knicks want to be legitimate contenders, they're going to have to beat the Bulls, and they can't beat the Bulls with the Bulls' best player not on the floor.
And that's interesting that I saw something yesterday. Rose might not be back for a long, long, long time.
Well, he's actually...
They said hopefully the second half of the season.
He worked out with the team. He's worked out with the team all week in non-contact drills.
I assumed he was going to be back by now, but I guess I'm dumb.
No, but they said... I read a report yesterday. He's working out with the team in non-contact drills, but in contact drills and scrimmages, he's not... He's watching from the sidelines.
So he is running around, I'm guessing.
He is running around and everything, yes. He's actually doing non-contact basketball drills. Whatever that means. So.
Yeah.
Not real sure what a non-contact basketball drill is, but...
Jogging.
Is that what it is? Is that what it means?
I'm guessing. Layups.
And just in a, who cares, this really isn't news, but I'm going to mention it, Ken Lincecum got a haircut yesterday.
That is news, actually.
The question is how short.
He actually got it cut really short.
No.
Yeah, really short, actually, yeah. Saw a photo of him, Ken Lincecum, underneath